So it's the show everyone is talking about, and it's the Sports Morning Show live on YouTube every Monday and Thursday at exactly 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., where we strictly talk nothing but sports, the intellectual way, sports, the analytical way, sports, the witty and the fun way. Obviously, today is a packed show as always, and trust me, this is a show you need to tell a friend that they need to be watching. Like I said, every Monday and Thursday. So if you've tuned in, thank you so much for choosing Sport 101. Make sure you subscribe if you've not subscribed yet. Send a link, tell them Sports Morning Show is live. Okay, so you're welcome back to the show. It's the Sport Morning Show live on YouTube, Sport 101. That's the channel. So hey, make sure you send a link. Tell them the show is on. And today is going to be fun because the international break is finally over. Players get to return to their clubs, where club football, is up upon us this weekend. And there's one game that we can't skip, and we need to talk about that game. It's the Manchester United versus Liverpool game happening in the English Premier League. There will be other games across Europe as well. The German, in Germany, it's the biggest game in German football. Bayern Munich will also be welcoming Borussia Dortmund, arguably their biggest test this season. We'll get into the Spanish La Liga as well. But more importantly, we'll be looking at, what happened on Thursday in the African division of the World Cup qualifiers, where teams like Senegal, teams like the Ivory Coast, teams like Cape Verde secured their qualification for the Mundial showpiece happening in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Teams like Nigeria have sneaked into the playoff berth. We'll be getting into all the nitty-gritties, the confusion. Obviously, one Burkinabe player has come out to, go at CAF for that rule. We'll get into all the nitty-gritties and how Nigeria were able to sneak in, and how teams like Burkina, Niger, even Madagascar, who had, 19, 18, 21 points, did not make it, while Nigeria with 17 points make it. I'll get to hear from our guys if that rule is actually fair, and if these teams are justified to take this matter up at the court of arbitration. So it's a packed show for you this morning right here on the Sport Morning Show live on YouTube. Sammy?
Yes.
Good morning. You good?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm doing very well.
How's it fine?
Everybody's good.
Everybody's good.
We're all doing very fine.
But 15 years ago, can you tell me what happened yesterday?
Ghana beat Egypt to qualify for the World Cup. Yes, I remember. I know what happened.
Where were you?
I watched that game at home.
Oh, really?
Yes, I watched that game at home.
You missed out. You didn't go to Kumasi?
No,
How was it, Kumasi?
I didn't. I wasn't at the stadium. I watched that game at home.
Okay.
It was something that we were all looking forward to. That game. It was more like a playoff, where we came up against Egypt. It was a two-legged playoff, and we started that game really, really well. Asamoah Gyan giving Ghana the lead very early in the game. So I really remember that.
Pause there. Don't give out the goal scorers. So I have a trivia for our viewers. If you're able to tell me in proper chronological order who the goal scorers were in terms of the 6-1. I'm not talking about just Ghana's goals. Those watching us, 15 years ago yesterday was when Ghana beat Egypt in Kumasi. For me, the biggest World Cup qualifying game in the history of the Black Stars. That game was huge. If you're able to tell me in chronological order, Sammy has given you a clue. Asamoah Gyan gave us the opener. Just in the chat comment section, let me know how did the goals in terms of Asamoah Gyan number 1, Asimesi number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So let me know in the comment section who were the goal scorers in chronological order let's see if you remember what happened. If you're not there, sorry, but some of us were there. So I mean,
Yes.
don't give the goal scorers. Don't spoil the party. Yeah.
So it was a good game. I remember how that game went, and it was a third appearance at the World Cup. So it was the final qualification round to the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. And yes, it was a good game. We had guys like Jan in that game. There was the other striker. His name is
Majid Waris.
Yes.
Christian Achu made his mega debut.
Essien and Sule Muntari started that game for the Black Stars. There was that right back, the one that was signed up to Real Madrid at
Daniel Opari.
Daniel Opari was in that game.
He was in the team.
Samuel Inkum was in that game. The Black Stars, Andre Dede Ayew started that game. Kojo Asamoah started that game.
John
I
Painter.
really remember. No, Painter didn't start the game.
Okay, no, Painter did not start the game.
But I really remember that game.
For the Egyptians, so who do you remember?
I know Salah was in the game.
Salah was in the game.
I know Salah was in the game. Goma was in the game.
there.
Fatih was in the game.
Was in there. Mohamed Abu Trika was in there.
They had their
Hassan Hussaini was in there, the
usual
goalkeeper.
squad. It was. I don't think any Ghanaian expected the Black Stars to win by
By
that
6.
margin. Yes.
Did you envision the kind of performance the boys put up?
It was
I
expected.
knew we were going to win, but I didn't know it was going to be that easy.
It was expected. It was expected because you watched the Black Stars during that period. The team was solid, and yes, the Egyptians also had a very good team. But remember that year was a year where the Black Stars had gone to the AFCON in that
2015.
No, it was 2013. It wasn't 2015. It was 2013.
No, in 2015, we were actually second. We lost on penalties to the Ivorians. Yes, it was 2015.
But that was after.
Okay.
It was after that game, before the World Cup.
Okay. I get
So
what
I'm
you're
talking
trying to
about
say.
that year,
That
2013.
year,
The Black Stars had gone to the AFCON, and then it was typical Black Stars performance. We always get to the semi-final during those periods. So at the time, the team was quite good. I remember Andre Dede Ayew himself. He had already become a mainstay in that team after the 2010 World Cup and the 2009 Under 20 World Cup as well. So the team was quite young. It was Sule and the likes of Michael Essien, who were the senior players in the team, Asamoah Gyan. And so after that, then we progressed to having the likes of KP Boateng being invited into the team after that period. And that was after the AFCON. And then there were good times for the Black Stars. We didn't expect, but Kumasi is one place that when the Black Stars play, you expect that the atmosphere is very, very electric. The Black Stars hardly lose games in Kumasi. And so I remember that game really, really well. It's been quite a long time. It's been, 12 years? But I remember that game like it was yesterday.
So I mean, like that, when it comes to the sports money show, we always have something interesting for you. One interesting thing that I need to tell our viewers is what happens every Thursday at Malibu. We say Thursdays is Malibu and Malibu is Thursday. So when you get to Malibu, and those who are in Takrady, you know where Malibu is. It's just before you get to Vienna Beach. At is it after the Stanchart? Yeah, I'll get you the exact location, but Malibu is the place you need to be. Their happy hour starts exactly at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. You buy a drink and you get one free. That's the happy hour. So any drink you buy, you stand the chance of you get one drink free. So this Thursday, it's happening at Malibu. We say Thursday is Malibu and Malibu is Thursday. So this evening, make sure you are at Malibu to enjoy with family and friends. Make sure you bring the friends around, gather them. Let's have fun at Malibu. It's going to be amazing. Like we said, the happy hour, it starts exactly at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. where if you buy a drink, you get one drink for free. Malibu is Thursdays, and Thursdays is Malibu. You'll be hearing more of them and some interesting packages that Malibu has for you. And I'll be running by you some of the amazing things that Malibu has for you. Also, let's not forget the show is proudly, held down also by Nkunim Phones. When I say Nkunim Phones, I'm talking about quality phones at affordable prices, and not just phones and their accessories as well. So if you need your earbuds, earplugs, phone cases, chargers, original quality chargers, just head to Nkunim Phones. They are located just near the Bank of Africa at Market Circle. So you see their numbers, running on the screen there. Just reach out to them. Tell them that, hey, you heard them on Sport 101 on YouTube and the Sports Money Show. They have a nice package for you. They'll sort you out. Any brand of phone you need, any brand of phone accessories you need, you can find them there. But Sammy, let's start the discussion with what happened on Tuesday. So we know very well that on Tuesday, DR Congo beat Sudan by a 1-0. Senegal secured their place by beating Mauritania 4-0. Nigeria, realizing that they needed 4 goals to ensure that at least they stand a chance of making it to the playoffs, did just that by beating Benin by 4-0. South Africa did not leave anything by chance, as they had their destinies in their own hands. Win and nothing else matters. They also beat Rwanda by 3-0. Morocco, they qualified with 2 games to spare long time ago, but they ensured they sealed it nicely. There was a party, in Marrakesh, beating Congo by a 1-0. Gambia also missing out, but they defeated Seychelles by 7-0. Gabon, one of the teams that, you say they just had a better team, in front of them or ahead of them. In Cote d'Ivoire, they defeated Burundi by 2-0. Cote d'Ivoire defeated Kenya by 3-0. Algeria beat Uganda by 2-1. The rest, Guinea drew 2-2. Botswana, Somalia at home lost to Mozambique. But the Nigerians have qualified to the playoffs. So let me run by our listeners and our viewers how the playoffs pairing stand and when the games are going to take place. The games are going to take place in November in the next international window, which is next month. So Nigeria will be taking on Gabon, whilst DR Congo takes on Cameroon. These are the pairings. Now, somebody may ask, how come the likes of Madagascar, the likes of Niger, even Burkina Faso had 21 points. Madagascar had 19 points. Niger also had 19 points. Yet Nigeria with 17 points have sneaked in, whilst these teams have dropped out. We'll get into the nitty-gritties. I would explain the details to you, and my guys would tell us if it's fair or not, because reports I'm hearing from Burkina Faso is that they are likely to take this case up at the court of arbitration. Whether it will hold or not, hey, I don't know. But my guys obviously do have their takeover. The viewers will know where you were.
Yeah, I'm around. Yeah. You know I'm always around. Yeah. Sammy, how are you?
I'm fine.
Everything cool. Yeah, we're just waiting to shave you. But obviously.
But the viewers, the viewers know it.
You just sail through by
I just sail through by
you just skill through by the skin of your can't say. Nigerians doesn't qualify automatically.
Yeah. Kobe, 15 years ago, yesterday, what happened? In the history of the Black Stars, 15 years ago, yesterday.
15 years ago,
yesterday,
we beat Egypt.
You're one of those students who in class, you ask a question, they'll be turning around and they'll hear something, they'll say, who beat Egypt?
We beat Egypt at the Kumasi Sports Stadium to qualify for the
Can you remember chronologically the goal scorers?
I think Achu scored.
I said chronologically, as in order.
I remember Asian scored.
But you cannot tell me the order.
Jan scored. Achu scored. In fact, it was a game that brought Achu to the limelight, yes. And then there was Sule Muntari. I cannot get you the correct chronological arrangement.
But what do you remember about that game? What's so fun about that game that you think that it's enshrined? I think people have said it's arguably one of, if not the biggest game in the history of the Black Stars. What about that game, really, makes you say, okay, wow, this game was good?
Well, I think it re-emphasized what I would label as the soul, the the location of the soul of the team. I think that the supporters in Kumasi are the best supporters that we have in this country.
Amazing.
Yeah, they are the best supporters. And for me, the Black Stars needs to find their home in Kumasi. You understand? Because, anytime the Black Stars plays in Kumasi, it's memorable. It's epic. And the people who live in Kumasi and its environs, they love their football. And so I think that if there's one fond memory about that game, it has to be about the spectatorship. It was electric. That atmosphere was electric, and I can boldly tell you that it was one of the reasons why the Egyptians were very much overawed.
It was crazy
because Egypt have always been a powerhouse in African football. Yes, I'll be first to acknowledge that time we had the super team.
But the Egyptian team was mad.
Yes.
Goma, Salah was coming out.
Yes. All
of
those.
The guy you mentioned his name.
Ahmed Fatih.
Ahmed Fatih was the right fullback.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
There was one Hosni.
It was a stacked, Egyptian team.
No, but I think that we had a great team also at that time. I mean, look, the midfield that we had then, it was arguably one of the best in the world in terms of the midfield quartet. Charlie, it was one of the best in the world. That midfield quartet that we had. And I think that coupled with the fact that we had that kind of unity and there was a sense of purpose. It was Kwisapia, right?
Yeah, Kwisapia.
Yeah, there was that sense of purpose. There was that sense of purpose. And then the boys desperately wanted to be at the World Cup. They wanted to prove a point. And I think that all in all, the Egyptians were just overawed by the electric atmosphere, and then one of the things that worked for us was that we caught them very early. You understand? We caught them off guard very early. The Black Stars scored very early in that game, and it was one of the reasons.
They scored in the 5th minute.
Yes, it was one of the reasons why the Egyptians were very much unsettled. But that said, I think that I'm glad that I remember that 15. You said 15 years ago?
Yeah, 15 years ago yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad I remember that 15 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Hey, I was there.
You were in Kumasi?
Yeah. At that time, I was doing my national service at
15 years ago.
I was doing my national
15 years ago. 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah, in 2006. That's 12 years ago. Or
2013.
2000. No,
when the game was played,
2006. So
the first World Cup.
Hey, I'm talking about that game in Kumasi.
Yes, 2013.
2013,
yes,
12 years ago.
Okay, no, I'm talking about I'm talking about the okay, yeah.
That's 12 years ago, yeah.
So I'll tell you a story about that game. So I asked the viewers to tell me chronologically. I mean, who were the goal scorers? John was the first goal scorer. Try and see if you can remember the rest. And if you're watching us, who were the goal scorers? So we've given you the first clue. John scored the first goal. Obviously, the second goal was scored by somebody. The third goal was scored by somebody. Then somebody.
I think Essien scored the second goal.
No, Essien did not score the second goal. Sule did not score the second goal. Essien did not score the second goal. Sule did not score the second goal.
Then was a defender. John Boy.
No.
Hey.
So the second goal was actually an own goal. Essien dribbled past 2-3 defenders, and in his attempt to take the shot,
One goal no get it.
It deflected.
One goal get it.
It deflected on Waif Goma, and the goal came.
Yeah.
So we'll give you another clue. We'll give you another clue. So Jan first goal, second goal, an own goal, third goal. Let's know who scored the third goal. Let me know in the comment section. Again, we are live on YouTube, also across all our social media platforms. Make sure you share the link. So let me run by you the rule why Nigeria. Then my guys will get into it if it is fair, because right now it's a big debate whether it is fair or it is not fair, and whether Burkina Faso, who want to take this matter up at the court of arbitration, would be, justified to take this case up. So on March 14th, 2025, CAF issued this statement, and in the statement it read, to all member associations affiliated to CAF, African qualifiers for FIFA World Cup 2026 updated qualification criteria of the best fourth runners-up. March 14th, 2005. 2025, sorry. And this is from the official CAF page. Dear General Secretaries, Kofi, I hope you are listening. The teams that want to take this matter up at CAF, they are justified or not. In reference to CAF's circular letter dated 18th May 2023, related to the organization of African qualifiers at the 2026 World Cup, the following criteria were set for the qualification to the FIFA World Cup. 54 African associations are divided into 9 groups of 6 teams. First of each group will qualify directly to the World Cup according to the results in each group in conformity with the criteria mentioned in Regulations Article 1.5. The four best runners-up play a centralized continental playoff to determine the African teams which will play the Intercontinental FIFA Playoff Tournament. In consideration of the withdrawal and or other circumstances that may reduce the number of teams in any group to fewer than 5, the following criteria will be applied to determine the best 4. And here is where the issue is. The first criteria is to determine the best 4 runners-up of all 9 groups. All the results of the bottom ranked teams of each group or the withdrawn team will not be taken into consideration when comparing the best runners-up. Second criteria. The criteria to determine the best runners-up for excluding the result against the bottom-ranked team or the withdrawn team are the same criteria mentioned in the regulation of FIFA 2026 World Cup for the preliminary competition in Article 11.5 where applicable. Finally, in case a group has more than one withdrawn or disqualified team, the equivalent number of bottom-ranked teams in each group will be excluded in the comparison of the best runner-up with the same above criteria. So basically, what CAF is saying is that should it happen that a team in the group decides not to partake in the qualifiers, any point you amass against that particular team will be quashed. Any goal you score will be quashed. And so, literally, all the teams in there, instead of 6, will be 5. If there are more than 5, they will apply the same group up until there are 4. Then they will have a different rule for that. But in essence, let's not forget, earlier on in the year, somewhere around February, the Eritrea withdrew from the qualifiers. And so this particular rule came into effect that right after Eritrea had withdrawn, any team that plays bottom of your group, any point you amassed against that team is quashed. So the reason why Nigeria is in there is because Nigeria lost to Zimbabwe and drew. So Nigeria got just 1 point. They got 2 points they drew both games, yes, from Zimbabwe. But teams like Burkina Faso, they got 6 points from the bottom team. Madagascar got 6 points from the bottom team. Niger got 6 points from the bottom team. So 6 points was deducted from their point. And as a result, instead of they getting a higher point, their point tally reduced. As for Nigeria, they were 1-1. So they beating Benin by 4 goals meant that they went through by virtue of they having more points ahead of these teams. So this is where the conversation begins. Sammy, I'll start with you. Has CAF been fair? Because the argument here is, why didn't CAF apply the rule that was used during the COVID time? And what was the rule? The rule during the COVID time was that, according to FIFA, they would, whatever point you accrue as a second place team, it is divided, you'll find the average and divided by 2. And it was shared amongst the other teams. that is what happened during the 2022 COVID era. So any major FIFA competition, that is how they did it. So if you are affected, fine, but it was a general rule. Your points are divided by 2, then they find the average. That's it. Instead of deducting point from a team that has beaten a team twice, or a team that probably amassed maximum point, in effect, you are rewarding mediocrity. Guys, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Because if you get more points against a lower placed team, you suffer. If you get less points out on how, I don't know if you get the drift here. Sammy,
Yes.
have CAF been fair with this rule?
First of all, I think it's unnecessary complication from CAF. I don't agree with how CAF has decided to, sort this issue of Eritrea, pulling out and all of that. There are 9 groups. One team decides to pull out, and then it affects everybody. I don't think it should affect everybody. It's just simple. You don't overcomplicate issues. If there are 9 groups of how many teams? 6 teams.
Yeah.
And then one pulls out, and there are five teams in one group. Yes, Eritrea started at some point, and they pulled out. If that be the case,
I think they even pulled out somewhere in December, not in February. They
yes,
pulled out very
quite
early.
early.
Yeah.
If that be the case, I just feel that whatever happened in that group should stay in that group. If you're going to deduct points from teams in that group, let it be only the teams in that group. And so any team that had played against Eritrea, then whatever results should be null and void. You should only make your calculations based on the other teams that were in the group. So instead of up to 10 matches, it should be based on 8 matches in that group.
Simple.
It's as simple as that. So that whatever happens in the other group is based on the quality of the teams in the other group. So what makes you think that Zimbabwe was the bottom team in Nigeria's group, but Nigeria could not beat them? But someone else has got 6 points from maybe another team somewhere in another group, and you deduct the 6 points. Nigeria couldn't beat their own bottom group, and then they are deducted only 2 points. I think it just overcomplicates everything. So if the other teams have played their full matches, everybody has played everybody, leave it as it is. If Eritrea's group played only 8 games and you take out Eritrea's games, leave it as it is. To judge them based on, we've seen AFCON where Togo were attacked in Cabinda when they were, I think it was an Angola 2010.
In Angola 2010.
And so their group had only 3 teams.
Yeah.
They played each other, and those 3 teams played each other. Whoever were first and second qualified out of the group. So they didn't say that because Togo were attacked, so every other team that was last in the group, you had to deduct 3 points if you had won, or 1 point if you had drawn. It's unnecessary complications. And it's made the entire qualification very unfair. Because truth be told, Nigeria do not deserve to be there. Burkina Faso have lost out based on goal difference. They accumulated more points.
21 points.
than
Niger,
Nigeria.
19 points.
And even
Madagascar
South
from
Africa.
our group, 19 points.
So I just feel that how is it Burkina Faso's fault that Eritrea pulled out? It had nothing to do with them. Why should Nigeria benefit from Eritrea pulling out? When you couldn't do the job by yourself. So it's practically not been based on merit. It's
So like
just
someone
some
said,
silly
they
rule.
rewarded mediocrity.
Yes, it's just some silly rule benefiting some other people. And Nigeria were fortunate that they were able to score 4 goals, and then that has put them in that position to qualify ahead of Burkina Faso and even Uganda.
Yeah.
Because Uganda had to, they lost it late against Algeria.
Against Algeria in that game, yeah.
And so I just feel that CAF have overcomplicated everything. Yes, Nigeria have gotten that benefit of going to the next stage. I think they were brilliant against Benin. Benin, from the beginning of the game, they didn't look like they were there to play a final because they had everything in their hands. South Africa needed that favor from Nigeria. We knew South Africa would beat Rwanda, But I expected a very close game. If you watch the trend of how Nigeria have been in the qualifiers, nobody expected them to score 4
Especially at
goals,
home.
especially at home. And so I thought we were going to see a very close game between Nigeria and Benin in that game in Uyo, but the Nigerians were emphatic. We saw the importance of that last minute Frank Onyeka goal, because that's practically the goal that led Nigeria to the playoffs. So kudos to Nigeria. They've done very well to be in that playoff. But I just feel that Nigeria have been fortunate, and then it's just one big mess from CAF. It could have been very simple, but they've just overcomplicated everything, and some people will feel hard done by. They will feel that they haven't been treated fairly, and they have a case. I don't think that if the Nigerians were in the position of Burkina Faso, they will be excited. I just feel that there's a reason why teams were put in groups. So if I am in Group A, why should I benefit from something that's happened in Group I? It had nothing to do with me. So it should be your own quality should send you to that World Cup or whatever playoff and all of that. And I just feel that yes, at the end of the day, you would say that Nigeria would be a bigger name and they'll pull bigger crowds and all of that.
More money for
at the World Cup, yes. But in terms of whether or not they deserve to be there, Nigeria, they've just benefited from a very, very silly rule, and I hope they can make it out of the playoffs, because if you look at the teams in the playoffs,
Tough.
I think Nigeria is practically the weakest team in that playoff.
They are tough.
On paper, we know the Super Eagles, yes, they have the big names and all of that. But if you look at the track record of Congo DR, you look at Cameroon, you look at Gabon, and how they have been in the past year,
crazy.
and the points accumulated in the qualifiers, the teams that they've come up against, and all of that, Nigeria, save the big name. I
agree with
honestly,
you.
because look at Gabon. That 20-something points.
They had 24 points.
They were just 1 point behind the Ivory Coast. And you look at Cameroon behind Cape Verde and
DR Congo
Congo.
likewise. 2 points
These
behind
guys,
Senegal.
I think that they are in a better form than the Super Eagles. The only thing that will work for Nigeria here is it's a one-off game, and excuse me, it's the Nigerians are maybe would ride on that good result they had against Benin, and then feel like yes, they can do something against Gabon in that game next month in November. But it will be a very, very difficult game for Nigeria.
So the games are taking place in Morocco, so it will be a neutral ground. One-off games. Nigeria will take on Gabon, whilst DR Congo takes on Cameroon. I think that DR Congo or Gabon will be one of the teams to represent, Africa. But again, as time goes on, are we telling or running by you when Africa or when that team from Africa goes through how they're going to be paired in the FIFA Intercontinental Tournament or not? But Kofi, Sami says FIFA and CAF they've just drawn themselves into a messy confusion. It was easily avoidable. You share in the same sentiment, or you think that hey, you knew the rule it was communicated to the member associations. Yes, you had started the qualified, but later on they explained that this is what was going to happen. So you knew the rules in the course of the qualification. Why do you complain?
What is the standoff points now? What are they complaining about?
They're complaining that this is, in Sami's words, a bogus rule, and I agree. Just deduct the points from those teams, the teams in that set group.
So why didn't they raise those objections in March?
That's the argument other people are also making. Why
didn't they raise those objections in March? And so if you knew that you were playing dead rubber games against some of these other teams, why did you waste your time? Not waste your time focusing on the other points.
But how do you even know the teams that will place bottom?
No, but from
Yeah, because
from
some might
March-
also say that
no, but from
if-
March you had a
if
clearer picture.
the
No,
other
from
guys didn't
March
play.
you had a clearer
The
picture.
qualifiers ended in October. How can you have a clear picture in March?
Yeah,
No, from March you knew
was
who
somewhere.
would- yeah, you
Match
knew
day
who
Match
four,
day
match
three
day
or
five.
No, you knew who
They're
would
playing
be.
almost 9
You,
games.
you knew the weakest teams in the various categories.
Because this World Cup has shown
Now,
us
some
that
will also
we
say
can't
that
say or
if
tell-
Eritrea were last, what if the group that placed second in Eritrea's group, if they also had
The
a
team
chance
that-
to qualify, would they have added points to theirs
Well, I
to
don't
place
think,
as
well,
one of
I,
the second best placed teams?
you know, people will always question rules. People would always speak ill about rules, but rules are rules.
But
At the
yeah,
end of
yes,
the day, if
but
you are
are they
looking,
fair?
you know, whether it's fair or not fair, I think the people who are complaining now are doing so because of salt grapes. Because if you deemed it unfair, you should have stated it from the onset. I mean, look, in March, CAF issued this communique. So if you deemed it unfair, why didn't you raise any qualms about it in March?
That's
Why
okay.
did you let it linger until October?
That's a
I think
very
that-
legitimate question to ask.
Look.
Yeah.
Let's not waste our time on teams like Burkina Faso and all the other teams which are making salt grapes out of the fact that they were not able to qualify. I think it's neither here nor there. We like to major on the minors, and these are minors. The rules are clear. Even I, sitting in my house somewhere in Takra, they knew that when it came to crunch, they were going to deduct all of the points you had accumulated from the bottom place teams and then see your real aggregate.
But Kofi, then somebody may ask,
I
by
don't
March,
no,
how
no,
do you
no,
even
no.
know
No.
which of the teams will be the
No,
weakest?
but the point is simple. The grounds and the rules were laid squarely for everybody to appreciate what CAF was working with.
Based on your in-depth knowledge of the game, don't you think what Sami proposed or what UEFA and FIFA and all the other bodies did during the COVID era, during major competitions,
No, but why
would
are, you
have been the
citing,
best?
why are you citing the COVID era?
Because that was when we
Why
saw
are
some
you
of these
no?
things.
Why are you citing the COVID era? When you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. Why are you citing the COVID era?
So this is CAF.
This is CAF. This is what it feels is best implemented at this material time.
Okay.
Communique was issued to all of the participating teams. Why are we even grappling over this? I think it's neither here nor there. Look, Burkina Faso and Co. They should have focused their energy on beating the other teams in their
But they
category.
did.
Yes.
To
So
amount
if they-
21 points. Kofi, it
you
is not
amassed
easy.
21 points, but you got 6 easy points against the bottom place team.
So
So it had to be deducted.
So Nigeria get barely 2 points from the worst team in the league.
No, you
and
see,
they are rewarded.
no. That's what you need to. That's what you need to focus on.
Okay.
Even in the category of the bottom place teams, there are stronger teams. They are not so strong teams.
True.
You understand? So yes, you can beat some molly team by 4-0, get 6 points. But it doesn't mean that their strengths have to be equal. You get a point. I look, Nigeria are there on merit. I don't care what you say about the Nigerians, but they are there on merit. And just to zoom in a bit into all of these shenanigans Sami and yourself are involved in.
We shenanigans.
I mean, plainly, I don't know what the two of you have been up to, but all of these shenanigans Sami and yourself are involved in, that Nigeria looks not the strongest on paper. Yeah, the strongest on paper, but in reality, Gabon.
But
what's the
based
name of-
on the
name of
point tally.
No. Hold on.
Based on the point tally,
Hold on.
Gabon had 25 points.
Hold on. It's Nigeria, Gabon, who and who?
It's Nigeria will play Gabon.
Yeah.
Then DR Congo will take on Cameroon.
So
And I think amongst them, DR Congo is even the strongest amongst all the teams.
why?
Per the performances I've seen them put up and per the
Because
league
they-
standing.
No, this logic is a bit skewed. I mean, with all due respect.
The
Because
likes of Wissa and all these guys who play for them.
because they played in a certain group, amassed a certain number of points. Because the group dynamics are not the same. So if DR Congo or Gabon got X number of points playing in a certain group under certain conditions, you think that on the basis of that alone, it makes them stronger than another team that played in a certain group?
No, we are not saying that on the basis of that alone.
So what is the basis? What is the
making.
basis for saying that Nigeria is about the weakest team in that category?
So Sami and
the
Kofi,
basis?
DR Congo were in a group with Senegal, Sudan, Togo, Mauritania, South Sudan. Nigeria were in a group
hold on. If you take DR Congo's team,
Senegal.
the only proper team in there is Senegal.
Actually,
That's the only proper team in there.
Sudan.
No, Sudan is not a proper team. Sudan is not a proper team.
Is Benin a proper team?
I am saying that. Let's analyze it case by case. So the only proper team in that group is Senegal.
Okay, good. What about Cameroon's group? There was Angola, there was Cape Verde, and there was Cameroon, and there was Libya.
When did Libya become a relevant team?
What about Angola?
When did Angola become a relevant team? Angola has been a one-pony horse. One-pony horse.
So the only relevant team according to is Cape Verde.
Obviously.
Okay. Let's look at Gabon's group. Ivory Coast, Gambia, Kenya, Burundi. If you've been following Gambia, you know how Gambia football has
No, you see,
risen.
now you are trying to rationalize your decisions. Look, all of these teams that you have mentioned, which one is a proper footballing nation?
Cote d'Ivoire. They have orange.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go to Nigeria's group. Nigeria had South Africa, Benin, Rwanda, and Lesotho. Which of them is even a proper team? None, apart from Nigeria.
Which one?
That's the truth. Apart from Nigeria,
You don't
none.
think South Africa is a
When
proper
did South
team?
Africa become a proper team?
South Africa has always been a
No,
powerhouse.
no.
It's for a team that has won the AFCON. You don't consider it irrelevant.
If that is the case, they will
Yes.
also make the same
I am-
argument for
no,
teams
no,
like
no.
Sudan who have been to the World Cup before.
No, I am saying that for a team that has won the AFCON and has constantly
1996.
No, for a team that has won the AFCON, has some of the very best. Look, in the just ended Club World Cup.
So you know you're also justifying what we are saying.
Hold on. In the just ended Club World Cup, their teams from South Africa represent Africa.
So
It tells you that they are doing stuff right. In terms of their domestic football, they are a powerhouse in African football. You don't just
So Sammy, then let's push the argument further. So you take Nigeria, South Africa, they are the two stronger teams. Gabon, the Ivory Coast, they are the two stronger teams. DR Congo, Senegal, they are the two stronger teams. Cameroon, Cape Verde, they are the two stronger teams. Amongst the four teams we've listed, I think Nigeria's pairing is the weakest.
Well,
Because Nigeria, South Africa cannot compare themselves to DR Congo, Senegal.
We remind me again, sorry. What is it that DR Congo have done in African football
What is it
recently?
South Africa have done in African football recently?
What is it that DR Congo have done in recent times?
Anyway, so relative, you
I
think
just
that
like saying is Ghana a powerhouse?
Is
in
Ghana a
African
powerhouse
football?
in
What has
African
Ghana
football?
done in
in
recent
the last decade?
What have
2
the
decades.
Black Stars accomplished?
No, when we speak of the Black Stars, it is enough to send shivers down the spine of other people. Yes, we could be a tame dog, but when anybody comes up against the Black Stars of Ghana, you know you are coming up against African royalty.
Sammy,
You
this
know you
side
are
we
coming up against
No, I don't.
that the teams, you don't compare teams or the various group pairings, because relatively you could play mole teams and amass 25 points like Gabon amassed, and Nigeria could play tough teams and amass 17 points like they did. And so you don't compare groups and say because of that Nigeria is the weakest amongst the four teams that are supposed to play the playoffs. Do you agree with this?
No, I don't. I think we can only judge based on statistics, based on current form, based on what we've seen. Except you've not watched Nigeria play. Even when Nigeria played against the likes of Lesotho, we saw how they were held at home. We saw how the Nigerians struggled. It's not about this team is a good team or that team is not a good team. When you watch the team play, you can see that the team is struggling.
Okay.
And that's why that game against Benin on Tuesday was practically their best game in a long time.
True.
Even then, I was not convinced because I watched that game in its entirety. I felt like Benin just lacked quality. They had some good spells in the game, and Nigeria were fortunate that they had somebody like Victor Osimhen in front of goal for them, because the goals he scored were typical strikers' goal.
Especially the first goal.
Yes, if Nigeria had any other person in front for them, Nigeria wouldn't have got those 4 goals, because Osimhen he showed his quality. He showed that he's a world-class finisher. That's what worked for Nigeria. In every other aspect of the pitch, I think Nigeria is just a normal team that can get better. And so for me, I look at this Nigerian team. It's not just about the name. The name Super Eagles, we know. But you might say that maybe Congo DR and all of that, Gabon,
They may not be a household names. Yeah.
But these are teams that currently
They are the best
are
teams.
playing very good football. Like, nobody will talk about Cape Verde.
Okay, so the point you
Typically, it's just like Manchester United. You keep talking United. But when they come up against Brentford,
Would you rank United as one of the best teams in the world currently? No.
when he talks about the name and the heritage and the history and all of that, United definitely is a big club. They will attract the best players. But when you go on the pitch 90 minutes, as a United fan, you're not even confident that your team will win the game.
So you get some mystery.
So let's move past the big names and all of that. When they are on the pitch, when this Nigerian team is on the pitch against Gabon, it will be a difficult game for Nigeria.
It will be a difficult game.
It will be a very difficult game.
No, so you are saying Nigeria won't qualify.
I'm not saying Nigeria won't
What are you
qualify.
saying?
I want Nigeria to qualify.
So what are you
but
saying?
I'm not speaking as a fan.
No, put your balls
No,
on the
I am not speaking as a fan.
Analyzing all the indices.
No, no, no.
If you know how agitated I was
No.
for Nigeria to get that 4th goal against Benin, I celebrated that goal like I'd won the lottery. But if I sit here and analyze the game and I'm being realistic, Nigeria against Cameroon, even the Nigerians will be shivering.
Nigeria against
So you
Nigeria
think
against
Nigeria,
DR Congo.
Nigeria against
Gabon. Some years ago. Some years
four of their
ago,
best
it
players,
will be a
and they still
no-brainer.
were able to beat the other team.
Some years ago, it will be a
so you
no-brainer.
think
But now,
Nigeria will come up against Aubameyang and Sheva. Is that the
This
point?
current
no idea.
Gabonese team,
You come up against Aubameyang and Sheva.
based on the pairings, who qualifies from the African
Nigeria
continent?
qualifies. Nigeria will qualify. Nigeria will beat everybody available.
Can you also put your head on the line?
I am saying no. I don't make silly bets. You understand? I don't make silly bets. I am not in
You don't
charge.
have balls.
No, I don't. I am not in charge of all of the dynamics.
You don't have balls.
No, my point is simple. Nigeria will qualify for the World Cup.
Nigeria will
They will
qualify.
qualify from this African jurisdiction,
Yes.
and then they will probably go and play somebody in the Oceania region, whatever it is, whichever, and you know, whatever. Nigeria is going to qualify.
So you think automatically Nigeria will head to the World Cup?
Oh yes,
Or they will play about 4 matches?
they will go to the World Cup.
Sammy,
yeah.
amongst the parents in there, which team are you confident that if push comes to shove, will see through?
I really can't. That's why I said they are one-off games. You play a semi-final, you play a final. I think the most difficult part of this qualifiers is the African side.
Yeah.
I can say that any team that wins it from the African side practically has a 50% chance of qualifying, because when you look at the other sides that they will come up against, let's run
So
by it.
okay, let me run by the listeners how the international playoffs. So whoever wins from the African playoffs will end up in the continental playoff, where they'll be playing teams they'll join teams from the Asian region, which is the AFC region, the CONMEBOL region, which you know is the South America region, the North America region, which is the CONCACAF, and the Oceania region, which is the OFC. So they will coming up against teams from South America, teams from the Asian region, teams from North America, and teams from Oceania. They will play in what FIFA has dubbed the mini tournament for the final 2 slots. So they'll play in a mini tournament where 2 teams would qualify. So it could happen that Nigeria could come up against Paraguay.
Okay, allow me to do my analysis.
Do your analysis, my friend.
First of all, now there's the CONMEBOL region where there's Bolivia, and then the Oceania region where there's New Caledonia. So these are the teams that are there. Now, when you come to CONCACAF, it is likely Curacao and Costa Rica. These are the two teams in the running. Then you come to Asian FC. There's a game between Iraq and
UAE or something
Iraq
like-
and UAE.
yeah, UAE,
So
yeah.
whoever wins that represents. And then when you come to CAF, we know our 4 teams. So these are the teams in contention, and that's the reason why I'm saying that whichever team that wins from the CAF region
Has about 50%
looks
chance.
like they are the strong side. Yes, Costa Rica is one good side. Maybe Bolivia.
No,
but there will be
Bolivia
two finals.
aside, they playing in that's is this minus whatever stadium they play. When
no.
they go outside, they are not really tough
But
competitors.
there will be 2 finals, and so the team from CAF can come up against any of these 2 teams, and it's something that would not be so difficult for the CAF region. So Nigeria, DR Congo, Cameroon, Gabon, I can't predict. That Cameroon Congo game is an equally very, very difficult game for both Cameroon and DR Congo, because look, these teams, they have quality.
Yeah.
You look at that Cameroon midfield and then they attack, and you see the likes of Baleba in that midfield role, and you see the likes of Mbemo, even good old Andre Onana is in goal. And you see the team that this Cameroonian side have. You go to DR Congo and Weiser and his friends and on all these guys. Typically, a lot of the quality players we are seeing now are representing their countries. And so you go to Gabon, Aubameyang scored a hat-trick, or I think 4 goals in match day 9. And he's still delivering for his team. And you look at the Nigerian side, I don't see how, in terms of player for player or quality, I don't see what the Nigerian side has over some of all these teams. I think they are all evenly matched. And it depends on which team wants it more. And so for me, I think it will be exciting to see these teams who comes through. I just feel like I would want Nigeria to go, but on paper it will be very, very difficult. I wish we had 2 teams going. Then we can say that Africa would have very, very good standing. But whichever team goes from the African region, I'm sure we'll get one of those 2 slots.
Okay, so again, it's a very complicated route to the World Cup. That's why, I mean, you don't find yourself in this particular slot having to play close to about 4 games or 5 games to get to book a ticket to US.
That's why
Canada.
you need to rapture. When the rapture comes, that's
Oh
why
my
you
God.
need to go. You are left behind. It will be a long route.
It will be a very, very long route for you. So secure your spot right now before everything is too late. But this is the morning show, or the Sports Morning Show, live on Sport 101. Kindly share the link. Tell them the boys are live. We've been talking about this whole CAF and their rules, and Kofi believes that, listen, the rules were set forward. They were just put out somewhere in March. By then, yes, they had played close to about 2 or 3 games. You knew what was going to happen. So hey, if you've fallen out, and it's you don't blame CAF, and Burkina Faso are trying to take them up on and the Court of Arbitration, CAS. We don't know, CAS, they can overturn and overrule any decision. So we don't know if they would really, but reports indicate that they are thinking about doing that. Anyway, whatever happens, we'll keep you updated. This is a Sports Morning Show live right here on Sport 101. I asked earlier on, 15 years ago yesterday, the Black Stars defeated Egypt by 6 goals to 1. Can you give me the goal scorers in order? I mean, it looks like almost everybody is struggling, but Sami seemed to have the list, in his mind. I'll run by you the various comments in the comment section, and we'll take a quick detour. We'll come back and we'll continue with the show. live on Sport 101. And as I told you, we are being held down by some great businesses right here in the Western region. One of them is Malibu. They are located at the Takrady Harbor behind, Ankara head office. And that's where you can find them, amazing place. So like I told you, they say Thursdays is Malibu and Malibu is Thursdays. Today they have a special package for you. So, those around the banking area, the port area, when you close from work, just head to Malibu. Make sure you go there, hang out. If you buy one drink, you get another drink for free. Happy hour starts from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Malibu is the place for you. So, they don't just, offer you Thursdays, amazing Thursdays. On Mondays as well, if you buy a dish from 200 Ghana cedis and you get, a 10% discount. You know, if you get them anywhere. On Tuesdays as well, they have reggae and jazz night. Charlie, for my reggae lovers and my jazz lovers, it's happening on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays is their karaoke night from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Thursdays, as we say, the happy hour. Thursday is Malibu. Malibu is Thursdays. You buy one mineral water and a club beer and you get one for free. On Fridays is the old school jam. Saturdays is the ladies night. And Sundays is the family gathering. I've been to the place myself and I can tell you it's an amazing place to relax with your friends, your family. If you're having that business meeting, they have some rooftop lounge. The way the air they blow, you get to enjoy the sea breeze is amazing. That's where you need to be this evening and any other evenings from Monday to Sunday. Malibu for you. Thursdays is Malibu and Malibu is Thursdays. Also, let's not forget Inkunim phones. And like I keep saying, if you want the best of phones, it's Inkunim phones. Whether phone accessories, batteries, chargers, anything mobile phone, anything phone accessories, find Inkunim phones just close to Bank of Africa at Market Circle. But guys, let's get back to now that
you were talking about Malibu.
Yeah.
You see why I always tell you to go out.
Why?
You said Malibu is behind where? Antrak. Do you know Antrak?
Oh, I know Antrak.
What did you call it?
Hey, I know. Really?
Just around the where the former Ghana Revenue Authority building was.
Yeah.
Where it used to be a former Ghana Revenue Authority.
We're there, so I know there.
Do you know former Ghana Revenue Authority?
I'll start going out later.
And then
I'll be making more trips to.
Do you know Paragon, where Paragon used to be?
Oh,
that area.
From Paragon, you are going to EcoBank if you are descending. Oh, I know that area.
Yes, so that area, Malibu is just there around behind Antrak. That's where it is.
But the guy talking, I will pay. I talk about Kofi.
He knows there. He knows. I was there yesterday. I met some really nice people there. Yeah, so good morning to Mr. Teddy as well. It's a really nice environment. Yeah. They have an indoor. They have a rooftop. They have one on the ground floor. So whatever you feel like or however you feel like, there's always something for you at Malibu. So this Thursday we'll be there to have fun. Then you can also catch your games there. Yeah. You can catch your live football matches, the Champions League, the Premier League games in a very nice ambient at Malibu. So it's something that we should look forward to. And we'll be having something really nice for our viewers for Champions League. I'm sure on Monday we'll talk about it. And so something really, really exciting coming up for Champions League in collaboration with Malibu and Inkunim phones as well. So you guys should look out for something really nice.
Kofi.
And also with our friends from Blue Zone.
Yeah.
The
Chelsea people.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bafor. Good morning, Philip. Chelsea. They know how to talk. On the bit of Chelsea, Kobe, the international games is over. We're back to weekends. European games, and we do have some juicy matchups in Europe. Bayern Munich will be taking on Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich are unbeaten this season. Dortmund too are high flying in the league, as in the two best teams per point tally in the German Bundesliga. Also, the big game, I think across Europe this weekend, is Liverpool taking on Manchester United. The ironic thing is that Manchester United have played two of the biggest sides this season. They've lost against both of them. They lost to Manchester City, lost at home to Arsenal. Liverpool, on the other hand, they have played just Arsenal. They beat Arsenal. Let's start with the big one. And I'm starting with you, Kofi. United are heading to this game, a bit on one winning momentum. Can United ride on that and cause a surprise against this Liverpool team?
Well, it's not just the biggest game in Europe, it's the biggest game in the world. And I think that statistically, if you look at the number of people who tune in to watch that game, it's about the biggest game in the world. Liverpool versus Manchester United. It's box office. You understand? I'm told that the El Clasico viewership does not even come close to the game between Manchester United and Liverpool. And these are purely facts, you understand, not just sentiment or any other thing. So that is it. On the lighter side, I saw a Barcelona fan smiling yesterday. Just remember that the international break is over and then we will get to see Barcelona play again.
You just love Barcelona. I don't know why.
Yes, I saw a fan of theirs laughing just yesterday. I was quite surprised. You understand, with all of the things. But back to the issue, yeah?
With your issues.
Yeah.
United takes on Liverpool. I mean, again, Liverpool have had their own issues. 4 games, losing on the bounce. If you add European games too.
Liverpool don't have any issues. The only issue they have is that they have a terrible coach.
Oh, Kofi. A coach that just won them the league.
That's
he
the
goes
mistake.
through a bad patch
That's the mistake you make.
Terrible manager.
Slot is not a good manager. I don't know how many times I need to re-emphasize on this particular podcast that Slot is not a good manager. And if you look at Liverpool, there is something that has become almost synonymous to them. It is that they like to lose games very late. They leak in a lot of goals. And I struggle to remember the last time Liverpool kept a clean sheet.
No,
honestly,
this season they've not kept a clean.
So
they kept a clean sheet against Arsenal.
They are leaking goals left, right, center, forward, back.
2.
Yes. When I look at Liverpool, there are 2 things that really come to mind. One, their great teams of old were built on a solid defensive fulcrum. You understand? So if you look at all throughout the Klopp era, you realize that most of the teams that dominated the EPL and by extension Europe had some solidity defensively about them. But you look at this Liverpool team presently, there is nothing solid about them defensively. You understand? And then when you watch Liverpool play this season, they do not play with that kind of panache. They do not play with that kind of conviction. When Liverpool were in their pomp and the club, they were almost arrogant. They were like the old City teams of Pep Guardiola. They played with a certain penchant. They played with a certain panache. They played with a certain level of arrogance. But you look at Liverpool this season, when you watch them play on the field, sometimes you keep asking yourself, are these the same players who won glories for Liverpool not so long a time?
What do you think is wrong with this Liverpool team in the past 3-4 games? Some may say, it's just that patch that every team will go through during the season, and it's good that theirs have come very early. It gives them or affords them the opportunity to solve it, because every team will go through that terrible patch. It's up to you to either recover well or let it get to you.
Let me spill some truths. I do not remember a game this season that Liverpool have played well. I don't. Maybe Samir and yourself can help me. Liverpool have been terrible this season. They've just gotten away with a lot of murder a lot of the times. If you look at their early season form, yes, they were getting the point.
True.
But anybody who watched their games critically, anybody who is probably a lover of football, watch their games thoroughly and critically, will tell you that some of the games that they ended up with 3 points, they did not deserve to get 3 points. So it's not really like Liverpool are playing well and they've gone through a patch where they are not playing well. We need to create that distinction.
Okay.
Sometimes teams are playing well, but they do not have luck on their side. You understand? They are playing well. Supporters do not have any reason to be worried at all because you can see the team create chances. They are playing very well. They have just a bad day in the office. Sometimes it happens. But if you watch Liverpool this season, you cannot put them in that category. You cannot put them in the category of teams that are playing well and then probably have just gone through a bad patch and not getting the results go in their favor. You look at Liverpool this season, they've been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You look at Liverpool this season, there is nothing arrogant about them. And I say arrogant a lot because, look, to be champions, you need a certain level of arrogance. People need...
Do you need it?
You need it. People need to walk onto the pitch and feel that, and feel intimidated. They need to walk onto the pitch and feel that, look, these are boys that we need to give our best against. You understand? To be able to stand any chance of winning. But I look at Liverpool this season, and all of these words that I've created, I've mashed up together, do not describe what it is that Liverpool are in this current time. You understand? And so, if there was ever a time for Manchester United to go to Anfield and get any sort of results, now is the time.
Can United beat Liverpool?
Obviously, United can beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Will United beat them?
Well, I'm not a soothsayer. But if Liverpool play terribly like they have in recent times, Manchester United will go there and get some results.
United have not gotten results against any of the big teams in quotes that they've played this season. Again, they lost to City, they lost to Arsenal. They're coming up against another big team in the league who are their rivals. Last season, they went there, they drew 2-2. This time around, with the same manager in charge, what should United do to get the point? They're not talking about picking a draw, get maximum point from Liverpool.
When you look at Liverpool play this season, it's clear that their biggest strength is the midfield.
Okay.
All the other parts are dysfunctional. Liverpool are not a force to reckon with attacking wise. Understand? I mean, Salah, their biggest superstar in the last decade, whatever you want to call it, has not been firing very well. Yes, Ketiki has come in and has done very well. Isaac is not firing. There are issues. So in attack, Liverpool are not really at their ruthless best. You understand? It's the midfield that they have all of these bodies where if you are not careful, they can catch you on a good day and then maul you. You understand? Defensively, Liverpool are all over the place. They are there for the taking. Defensively, they are there for the taking. So I think that if United want to go there and do well, they need to get a stranglehold on that midfield.
With United's midfield, can they?
That's the point.
And
And this is where I probably need to throw in the input of something because, look, if United can keep a stranglehold on that Liverpool midfield, the game is 50-50. If United can hold that Liverpool midfield at bay, I will sit confidently here and tell you that United will beat Liverpool.
Because I think they will have Cunha back. There's Mbuemo, there's Sesko.
Oh yes, I mean, look, defensively, look. Kekes together with Van Dijk, they are disasters waiting to happen. Konate, all of those boys, you understand? I don't know if Frimpong is fit, but that back four of Liverpool has become a liability. That back four of Liverpool is there for the taking. But the question is, will the United keep it tight in the midfield? And you see, and this is where I expect Ruben Amorim to earn his money. And this is where ordinarily I would have wished that the coach was a little bit more pragmatic. And that he wouldn't want to go in with a sole philosophy that he clinges so much to. You understand?
Tweak something a little bit.
Tweak something a little bit in that midfield.
What would
Put
you
an
have
extra
tweaked?
body in that midfield.
What would you have tweaked?
I would have put an extra body in that midfield.
Which player?
Look, if I were Amorim, I would play a midfield three of Casemiro. I'll put Kobe Menu in there, and probably I'll put Bruno Fernandes in there.
Why not
Sacrifice who?
Ugarte.
No, Ugarte I do not trust in these circumstances because see, it's a derby first of all. It has the tendency to get fiery. And so if you do not have players who are calm-headed, they could cost you a body. You understand? I mean, it's easy to get a red in a derby because it's fiery. I mean, and then you need players who can play the game and not the match. You understand? And not the occasion necessarily. So you need players who are calm. You need players who have the temperament to soak all of the pressure in a very hostile environment. And it's going to be hostile. So I've looked at Kobe Menu. Look, that boy's calmness under pressure is so underrated. So underrated. For me, the kind of temperament he has, it does not match his age. So you need somebody like that in that midfield who, when he gets the ball, will not panic, will not, and then you need players who will not just panic, but are intelligent enough to link very well with the attack. So I'll put Kobe Menu in there. In fact, if I were the coach, he'll be the first name on my team sheet. And then coming up against Liverpool, you do not need any more motivation from a proper Mancunian to play against Liverpool. And then put Casemiro in there. I've watched Casemiro in this international break feature for Brazil. I think that the whole theory about Casemiro being finished is a bit overrated.
Is it not because he has bodies around him who would... Because you have Bruno Gomes, who Joe Linton, and I saw them against Japan. These are rugged, busty guys who do those jobs for Casemiro. You know, but I don't know.
So that's what I think. I think that the coach needs to opt for an extra body in that midfield. I mean, hold your own. Let's see how the game plays out. If you are able to do the stuff that you are containing Liverpool, because I hold a singular belief that, listen, United's attack can match Liverpool's attack any day, anyhow. Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, whichever one of them, if you decide to even play in the last game against Sunderland, he opted for Mount instead of Cunha. You understand? Whichever one he decide to play, just tweak the formation a bit. You understand? And then put an extra body in the midfield. Once this game is crying out for a 4-3-3. If I were Amorim,
Match them body for body in the
come
middle.
on. I mean, if you match them body for body, Liverpool are vulnerable now. They could be there for the taking. But the question is, which team will the coach present?
Sammy, which team turns up on Sunday against Liverpool? Let's start from the United perspective before we get to the Liverpool. Which team turns up on Sunday against Liverpool from a United perspective?
When you say which team, what do you mean? Lineup?
No, I'm talking about based on, are we going to see the pragmatic approach where he tweaks some few things tactically, personnel wise, a team that is wanting to win this game at all costs and will win this game at all costs? Or we'll see the same old United and Amorim. They win one game, lose 2 or 3 games, win one game, lose 2 or 3 games. Which team turns up?
We already know the team that will turn up.
No, I don't.
The coach is not going to change anything. So he's going to play the same way.
You don't think he will change?
He won't. He will play the same way. He will play the same system. You can predict the lineup. Maybe the only area where we might see some changes might be, at the back.
Okay.
We don't know if Maguire will come in. We don't know if Lenny Euro will be back in the team. Delete. So it might still be Lushore, Delete, Euro. I'm hoping that he's back. He's available for the game.
I think he is.
Dogu might come back into the team. He didn't start the previous game. Diogo Dalot, I think is back into the team as well. So that's it's typical. We will see the typical Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. The only area in front where we might see changes, as Kofi said, Mount might come in ahead of Cunha. I think Mason Mount is brilliant for the system for Amorim. And but I agree with Kofi. I think Liverpool are there for the taking. And I have not been impressed with Liverpool this season.
Are we not overstating the fact that yes, they got beaten? Yes. So what?
They've always conceded. That's the
yes.
difference between Liverpool now and Liverpool then, or last season, or 2 seasons ago. Liverpool have been struggling to win games. They always grind out results. They've always conceded in their games. They have lost their last 3 games in a row. So you can't tell me that this is a team that is on form. So yes, it might be at Anfield, but United can go there and get a result. But will they get that result is another question. United have not won back-to-back games under Amorim since he took over a year ago. It hasn't happened. They won their game against Sunderland. So per statistics, if you're a betting person, the best for United would be a draw. So if you look at it from the personnel available, I agree with Kofi. If Amorim is still bent on playing that 3-back, he can play a 3-5-2. You need to match Liverpool in that midfield. You can't play a 2-man midfield against McAllister and Gravenberch and Soboslai, who might come ahead of Vits, or if Vits comes in that number 10 role. You can't play that and expect that you will not get run over. Salah is quick. Cody Gakpo is quick. Florian Wirtz is quick. These guys, Ekitike, or if it's Isak who comes in, these guys they are players that are quick in front, and so you would expect that there has to be a lot of running. And if United lose that midfield battle, then that's it, because the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha will not do that central midfield mopping up, especially if United go behind. So I just think that United need that extra body in midfield. You can play 2-top. You can play whether it's in Mbeumo and Sesko, whether it's Mount and Sesko, but United need that extra body in midfield. I don't see the point of playing 2 number 10s at Anfield and then you have Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in midfield. That would be a problem for Man United. And so I think that Liverpool this is practically the best or the easiest Liverpool that United would come up against in recent times.
Whoa.
Yes.
The easiest Liverpool team.
Yes, in recent times, this is the easiest Liverpool team that United can come up against. Last season, we saw how Liverpool played. In previous games, we've seen, even in the FA Cup that United won, Liverpool were not this loose. They were not this vulnerable. They hadn't lost 3 matches in a row. So United have something going for them where they can go to Anfield and get a result. I think if United even get a draw at Anfield, it's an improvement on what we've seen from United and Liverpool fixtures in the Premier League in recent times. But this is a game I think United can win. But Liverpool, we can't also take away the quality that this Liverpool side have. Because look, if you look at the Liverpool attack, there's good old Mohamed Salah in there. I don't think on a normal day Patrick Dogu is any match for Mohamed Salah. I still struggle to see what he adds to that United team, especially going forward. He has a lot to improve upon. You look at the other side, there's Cody Gakpo also for Liverpool coming off the left-hand side. Whether it's Ahmad that starts there, whether it's Diogo Dalot that starts there, I don't know, but he's one talented player. There's Isak as well, who probably lead the lines for Liverpool. Off the bench, there's Ekitike. So Liverpool they have a lot of quality going forward. United equally have a lot of quality going forward. And so the bone of contention has to be that midfield. And if United get overrun in midfield, that's where the game will be lost for United. So I'm hoping that Amorim gets his acts right. Slot himself will also need to prove a point, because Liverpool also need the points to get that confidence back. You can't drop points consistently for 4 games. So it's a very interesting fixture, and I'm looking forward to a good result.
Genuinely, yes, you've spoken fondly of it. Can Liverpool bounce back from the series of defeat with this particular game? Make a statement that, listen, it was just a blip, or it's the start of the season, we'll go through that patch. And after the international break, they do have Isak back. Yes, he's not really on form. He's struggling with Sweden. You know, he's come back from injury, struggling with Liverpool. Ekitike, after his last, incident, I think will be out for 2 games. I don't know if he served them both, but can this Liverpool team bounce back?
It's not about bouncing back. Yes, Liverpool can win. They can win. I think they are in a better position to win than Man United. But when we talk about bouncing back,
Yeah.
I still think that this Liverpool side will still have challenges in the season.
In the course of the season.
I've one that have said it from the start of the season.
Yeah.
I think that this Liverpool side will not win the league. I think they made wholesome changes to the side, and it's affecting how the team plays. We mentioned the transfers. You make about 4 or 5 changes to your Titan winning starting 11. Obviously, it's going to take a while. For
Even
the
though
team.
the players that walked in are quality.
Yes. Even though they are quality, United have quality, but we're still seeing them struggle. So Liverpool, I think that they still have a lot of work to do. They might beat United on Sunday at Anfield, but that doesn't take away the fact that the team still has issues to sort out. They will come up against maybe more quality opposition going forward, like we've seen recently, and then they get exposed. United have the opportunity to expose Liverpool if United come to the party. If United get it right, I think United have that quality to get something from Anfield. But whether or not Liverpool wins this game on Sunday, it doesn't change the fact that the team has challenges.
But genuinely, before we switch the conversation, and we've been joined by Percy or as well. That's the thing with the sports money show. People are saying that yes, Liverpool should have bodies in the middle, but if United should have bodies in the middle to match them both for. But if you look at this Liverpool side, teams that have been daring enough to go at them have all scored. Bournemouth were daring enough, even though they couldn't match Liverpool in the middle. They scored 2 goals, and per their own issues in defense, they could have actually either drawn that game. Look at Newcastle. If they didn't let it slip, they could have won that game. So Liverpool, and like Kofi said, Liverpool have struggled defensively. And United, per last season, have arguably one of the best attack in the league. So why don't you throw everything to the wall and just go at Liverpool, because their defense is very vulnerable?
Well, we already stated that United need to have a go at Liverpool because Liverpool have conceded in practically every game this season. But this is a United side that fluff chances. You also cannot go 90 miles per hour for 90 minutes. If you watch United this season, the team always starts on the front foot. United always create chances in the early moments of the game. But do they put these chances away? Do they bury these chances? That's the question, because United would start and then create a lot of chances and they don't get to score these chances. But if United start well at Anfield, which I think the team will start well, they need to take their chances. Don't be surprised there will be a goal in the first 10 minutes of the game, because United always start on the front foot.
That's true.
But they cannot keep that momentum for 90 minutes. At some point, the opposition will have the possession. At some point, there will be transitions. When United attack and Liverpool get to clear their lines during the counter-attack, during transitions, United get a set piece. These are the moments where United get to
What would be the shape of the
vulnerable.
United team to prevent Liverpool from
saw them
touching
against Brentford. We saw how they considered, and you have someone like Harry Maguire at the back or Delete. These are guys that are not quick. So during the transitions is where United tend to suffer, because just one ball in behind the back line and then or through the middle, and then United are exposed. So you should understand that in football there will always be moments in the game where you would have transitions, and then you have moments where United will be out of possession. So United can start the game guns blazing and all of that, but Liverpool will have their moments. It's more about United taking their chances. You can do all the running you want to do. If Bruno and Casemiro do all the running and they don't have adequate cover or support from that midfield, then it exposes the back line. And that's where we get to see the likes of McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, and all these guys make their name in this Liverpool team. Salah running in behind it, especially if you have Patrick Dogu caught upfield, and then there's a counter attack or something, and then that left hand side is exposed and he's 1-on-1 with Luke Shaw. You know how that's going to end. So it's not always about the fact that Liverpool are conceding goals, whether United can take their chances, and also how quick United can cover their lines when they are out of position, when Liverpool get a counter attack, or when Liverpool are defending set pieces and then they are able to clear their lines, how does this United side recover? If you watch United, these are the moments where United tend to concede goals, and then that's where I feel that the team needs to work on.
Okay, so the discussion ongoing. We're currently focusing on the big game in across the globe this particular weekend. Liverpool taking on Manchester United. It's happening at Anfield on Sunday, exactly at 3:30 p.m. And that game, oh boy, it's going to be fun. As to whether United can do their first back-to-back under Ruben Amorim, it will be same old Manchester United. They win one game, they lose the next. Let me do some messages here. Jeffrey is saying my hair should be shaved. I mean, the bet was that Nigeria cannot qualify for the World Cup on Thursday, and they haven't. Let's see if it will happen during the playoffs. Bengals wants to find out. Bengals, is true. I hear FIFA they will not automatically see them, but the seedings for the intercontinental playoffs will be done based on your FIFA standings. So how the FIFA ranking is, that's how the teams are going to be seeded. So I mean, the teams that Sami put out, I mean, these are teams that are Nigeria are way higher than them. Maybe I do not know. I'll let Sami check the FIFA rankings where Bolivia
it will
is.
be the FIFA ranking as at March.
So where
When
Bolivia, I'll let him check where Bolivia is and where maybe Costa Rica is. Then we know whether Nigeria can be the highest seeded team amongst them. If Nigeria ends up as the highest seeded team amongst them, then that's great. Nigeria will be seeded above them. Or
A lot of people are only thinking Nigeria will qualify.
Nigeria will take on maybe the team that will be taking on Costa Rica from it.
Nigeria should beat Gabon first.
That's the thing. But in the continental playoffs, it will be seeded. The teams will be seeded according to the FIFA ranking. So Bengals, there you have it there. Again, make sure you share the link. Like I said, we are proudly being held down. Malibu. Thursdays is Malibu and Malibu is Thursdays. The happy hour, buy a drink, buy water, buy beer, you get one free. I mean, they're there. Tuesdays, Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. There's the jazz hour, jazz and reggae hour. You know, there's the family gathering on Sundays. Just go there, throng there. Have fun with the family, have fun with friends, you know, after work. Don't walk home straight. Just go there, relax, kakra, you know, then you can go home. Percy, let me rub you in on discussion. We'll come back to the major predictions, but over the weekend, Dortmund will be offering Bayern Munich their biggest test this season. So far, all the tests that Bayern Munich have faced, they've been able to pass that test. They've been brilliant this season, scoring goals for fun. But on Saturday in the German Bundesliga at exactly 4:30, Borussia Dortmund comes up against Bayern Munich. Dortmund are second with 14 points. Bayern Munich are first with 18 points, having scored 25 goals in 6 games, considered just 3. It's a derby of a sort. It's just like what will all happen in the English Premier League, but this time it's the sister version in the German Bundesliga. Yeah. How do you see this game panning up? Are we going to see another dropping, or where Dortmund is going to, let Bayern Munich drop their first point of the season?
Okay, so it's been a while I've been off. So first of all,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. So
the space is yours.
Yes. First of all, this derby, I would say, is one of, should I say, the most derbies that you wouldn't really call it a close call, because the should I say the difference is too wide. It's too wide. Bayern 67 wins, Dortmund 33 wins, draw 37. That's crazy. And
it tells you the dominance of Bayern Munich over the years.
It's funny. It's funny that it's unlike the classic of PSG Man City. So this is like the classic of the 90s, because in the 90s PSG was just founded in 1970, and about 22 years of their existence, Marseille won the first league title. They didn't win a league title until just recently that they started. So those times was one-sided, and it was just recently that they found themselves coming into the party. And you go to Classico, at least that one is a bit close because at least the win margin
84-82.
84-82, and you come to that is South America, Boca Juniors and the River Plate, very close. Premier League, if you take United and Liverpool, you have 83 to around 60, 70 something of Liverpool. But if you take this, the difference is almost 30. It tells you that Bayern have been twice as better as Dortmund has been over the years. And Dortmund is, should I say, the biggest bridesmaid in world football. They've been bridesmaids to league titles for years. And whenever the two of them meet, until recently, maybe in the early 2010s, that is the early part of Jürgen Klopp's resurgence of the Dortmund with Nuri Sahin, Kagawa, Weidenfeller, and all of those. That was when they were really giving Bayern a very tough time. But post that, when Bayern got grasp of the league from 2013, 9 to 10 straight years, they obliterated the league. And even afterwards, you didn't even get Bayern, Dortmund to be able to just come into the party and just do something.
So if I get you, relatively, you are saying that this is no test for Bayern.
No. We don't. Of course, we are discussing it because and I don't even want to rate Dortmund as the second biggest team in Germany, because if you are talking about the team with the second highest titles, it is not even Dortmund.
Yeah.
And if it is Champions League, as a Hamburger has also won a Champions League.
Yeah.
So it's like you put Bayern in grade A, you can't really get another team. The only teams that could have come close is Mönchengladbach, could have come. Schalke. They could have also come, but you can't get anybody.
Why do you think that? Maybe we should switch the conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Why do you think that it is so? Because at least in every league, you have at least two teams that are going at each other.
Very good.
Worst case scenario, you have one or two
Very
other
good.
rivals coming. In the
Very
German,
good.
in England, it was Liverpool, United till teams started coming in. In Portugal, it was Porto, Benfica till Sporting started coming in.
Very
in
good.
Argentina, it's always River Plate, Boca Juniors. In Brazil, it used to be Corinthians and Santos. Then they switched up. It was
Okay.
Why do you think in the German Bundesliga we've not had that biggest rivalry second force? Because it looks like it's not even a force.
It's not a contest.
Why do you think it is
now? Even point of correction with the Brazil, we call them the Big Seven.
They actually, I was told they are actually about 8 or 9 of them.
Yes.
Botafogo, they've won
Now,
14 times.
for them, for the Brazil, 90% of the league has been won by 7 clubs. Each of these 7 clubs has won the the Copa Libertadores. 4 of them have won Club World Cup.
Yeah.
So for that, if we are talking about rivalry, every week there is a rivalry.
That's true.
Because they are 7. So at every point that they are playing themselves. So for them, crazy. You go to Argentina, you don't even want to talk about it. Now, when you take that of Germany, this is how it is. Funny thing is that Bayern before 1970, were in Division 2. In fact, when you take the Bayern League, the German League, they only started, because of the wars they were into, First World War, Second World War, they were not really having a stable league. So the Bundesliga proper started in the late 50s. And at that time, Bayern was not a big team. Bayern was just, he had prodigies of, the Kaiser and the Bomber. That is the short guy. The two of them were in the Bayern team from Division 1. Then they came to the main. And when they came there, then there were bigger teams. There was Mönchengladbach. Yeah. It was a bigger team than, and you also have Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg because of the Volkswagen company. So it was pretty founded. But when you have Beckenbauer and Müller pushing the team from the 70s, so they started winning the league consecutively. Then fortunately you had a core of the team also being pushed into the German national team. It made, so in the 70, between 70 and 74, it's actually the biggest, should I say, in history of football. You have never had a team, not even Barcelona, a team that has had a crop of players winning everything from 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, because you had I talked about Muller and I talked about Beckenbauer. You had Ajax winning 71, 72, 73. Then they started. They won the Euros in 72. They won the World Cup in 74. So from 72, apart from 73, that you had Ajax winning the Champions League. They started 74, 75, 76. Champions League straight. And 72 too, they had won the European Cup. And they won the World Cup too in 74. So 6 straight years. That was when they built a dynasty, which had actually never happened. So with that, they started racking in the popularity. So it was more or less like now every player decided to. It was more or less like the German national team became the
symbol of.
So now from there you can talk of Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Uli Hoeneß, Schwarzenberg.
Everybody wanted
every single player, no matter where you play, you would have to.
You dream of playing.
So now think of any German legend. You think of any of them at every point in time. You should have played for Bayern, even if you are a German coach. Even if you are a German coach, the coach that even won Bayern the Champions League, that is he had to come and also win the Champions League for Bayern Munich. It's like that. So Bayern Munich became like the symbol for the German national team.
That's why you think that relatively
you have to be there.
Second force
You have to be, and also because of how the Germans also like their things, they don't like to change things. Unlike if you come to England, you see, England is not like how the Germans had to be. Like I told you, the Germans just really started serious football in the 50s. If you come to England, see, you had, so in Germany, like I said, apart from Hamburger FC, SV, and what do you call it? Bayern Munich, who have won the Champions League. Yeah. In England, you have about 5. You have Aston Villa, you have Nottingham Forest, you have Chelsea, you have United, you have Liverpool, and you have Man City. 6 teams that have won. And for the English national team too, there was nothing. We have never had anything like the team or the national team, the 3 Lions, is attributed to a certain
the success of one club.
That's the difference between the Germans. So because even if you take the 1966 team that actually won, how many United players were in? How many United legends were in? If you talk about Bobby Robson, you can't really talk of any other player. Even Geoff Hurst did not play for Chelsea, did not play for United or any of them. The one who scored for them to win. So it is not like the other national teams. So if you take Spanish, they are also having at every point in time in their success. So, like I said, it has to do with the national in their success. It is 2 teams. It is 2 big teams. Apart from that, there are other factors, because with Real Madrid, you have it being related to the Royals, and with Barcelona being rebels who are trying to. But it still have to come to when they won their first Euros in 1980? Yeah, 1980. 1980, and France won it in 1984. So 1980, when they won their first Euros, go and check the number of Barca and the Madrid players. When they won the Euros again in 2008, you take out Torres, you take out Marcos Senna, you take out Juan Capdevila, you take out these 3 players, from the goalkeeper to the last player, if it is not, and you take out David Silva and David Villa, who were all in Valencia. The rest were Madrid or Barca. 2010, even the finals, you had about 7 to 8 Barca players and about 2 to 3 Madrid players. Same thing for when you go to France. So with France, they know that they are big. Until recently, that Olympique Lyon went off their grade. It has to do with either PSG, and you would have a bit of Marseille. But even PSG, it has to probably be with the acquisition and everything. So with France, they had Marseille, then they had at least Olympique Lyon, then you have PSG coming. But with Bayern, even one thing that is even going to make it so difficult is also the rule that the Germans have brought. 50% plus 1. Yeah. You cannot buy a team. If at least that was there, you could have had investors coming in and we would want to buy something like maybe Wolfsburg.
But they don't need the money, because the German clubs, even the small ones, they are okay.
It is
You
not.
hardly hear any German club.
No.
Financially, they are very.
It's not about being okay. Who says the Premier League clubs don't have money?
Their books are very well sorted.
It's not like the Premier League clubs do not have money. It's not like Chelsea was going bankrupt before Abramovich came in. That is not it. It is as good as they are. Are you telling me that what do you call it? Bayern Leverkusen, after winning the league, if they were that okay, how did they allow for about 10 of their starting 11 to be priced
I
out?
don't think they sold their players because they needed the money.
So why did they sell their players?
You see, when you get
So they had raised self-actualization and they didn't want to go further.
exactly because
No.
you know why? You know why? Bayern Leverkusen, to me, and to a player like, let's say, Vitz, he sees himself as, if I want to move a step further in my career, it's not to stay at a club like Bayern Leverkusen.
That is what.
So I need to move.
That is what Michael Ballack said this in an interview a few months ago. He was like, some people were
Because Lucio, after Champions League final, this is not a club I would want to play 2-3 years from now. Let me move to a much more bigger stepping stone, Inter Milan.
So are you telling me that Inter Milan was bigger than Bayern Munich?
Bayern Leverkusen.
Okay, it was Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
What I am trying to say is simple. I am saying that it is not a matter of they don't need the money. They need the money.
Everybody needs
What
money.
does
But
not
I'm
need
saying-
money?
I'm saying that German clubs are so okay that, there are clubs like Ajax. They would have to sell because there's a model they run. They need the money to run. A club like Sunderland will have to sell. They know they have
No,
to sell. Even Villa, just last season, they had to sell some of their best players. They let go of this player to Juventus, Douglas Luiz. They are letting go of certain players because they need. Newcastle had to sell because.
So you sell because you need the money. You see, listen, Bayern Leverkusen is run by one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm coming. The fact that you are run by the biggest, it doesn't mean that the pharmaceutical company, it does not mean that they pump in every single money into it. Rudy Voller being their head. No, they need to actually keep it running like a company.
So you think this derby is not a derby?
we don't even. I'm even see this derby.
Bayern wins it.
If Dortmund wins, it is a discrepancy. If Dortmund wins, it's a discrepancy. If Bayern wins, it's a norm. So it is not like we're expecting something. And the mood and the fire with which Bayern is reigning on the league, I'm expecting them to even win the league by March.
Okay, so let me run by our listeners' fixtures in the English Premier League coming up this weekend. It starts on Saturday, exactly 11:30 a.m. Chelsea will be traveling to take on Nottingham Forest. City at 2 p.m. will be welcoming Everton. In the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona will take on Girona, whilst at 4:30, like I told you, Bayern Munich will take on Borussia Dortmund. Arsenal, the final game for Saturday in the English Premier League, Arsenal at 4:30 would at Craven Cottage will take on Fulham there. So these are the games in the English Premier League on Saturday. In the Spanish La Liga, Atletico Madrid will welcome Osasuna. Villarreal will take on Real Betis. On Sunday in the English Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur takes on Villa. Liverpool take on Manchester United there. And in the Spanish La Liga, one game that I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in, Getafe will welcome Manchester United there. In the Serie A as well, Juventus will travel to Como. Cagliari will take on Bologna. Genoa will take on Parma. Atalanta will welcome Lazio, whilst AC Milan will take on Fiorentina. On Saturday in the Italian Serie A, the big game, Roma will welcome Inter Milan, whilst Torino takes on Napoli. So these are the games that will be taking place over the weekend across Europe. But the game that a lot of people will have their eyes on is the Manchester United against Liverpool game. On Monday, we'll come back and do a comprehensive review of all the games that took place over the weekend, including the major stories that will be breaking in the course of the weekend. I had Percy here with me. He joined us late on the show. Sami was also here with us. Kofi was also here with us. This has been the Sports Morning Show live on YouTube every Monday and Thursday at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And tonight, it's happening at Malibu, Charlie. You don't want to miss it. Thursdays is Malibu. and Malibu is Thursdays. And they don't just have events on Thursdays. Also on Mondays, you buy a dish from 200 upwards, you get 10% discount. On Tuesday is their jazz and reggae night. On Wednesdays is their karaoke night. Sammy, loves to sing, but he cannot sing, so karaoke is the best option for him. He'll be there on Wednesday, and it starts at 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Then on Thursday is the happy hour. Buy one mineral and also get one for free. So you buy a mineral, beer, whatever. It's today. It's happening today. Viewers, listeners, make your way to Malibu. Like I told you, they are located at Takrady Harbor behind Amtrak head office. It's not a place you can miss. It's not a place you can miss. So if you say Amtrak head office, you can just find them there. That's Malibu. They have an excellent ambience. So join myself, Sammy, Kofi, Jeff, the entire team will be there, just to relax after, a very heavy schedule. So my friends at all the banks, around the port area, right after work, just make your way to Malibu. Let's just, relax and enjoy the scenery there. But if you're looking for that great phone, if you're looking for that great phone accessory, make sure you make your way to Inkonim Phones. Yes, when I say Inkonim Phones, I'm talking about quality phones, quality phone accessories. So if it is, chargers, if it's, iPods, AirPods, Samsung products. I told you about the Google Pixel Pro. The latest one, they have it. The Samsung Z Fold 7, they have it. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, they have it. Any brand of phone you want, just make your way to Inkonim Phones. You can just, get their number on the screen. Just call them, tell them you heard their promo on Sport 101, and they'll treat you good. This has been another great time right here on the Sport Breakfast. Bob buying, it's the Sport Morning Show right here on Sport 101. Again, let's have another great time on Monday.